Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel again. Nice to see you. Today I thought we'd have a bit of an update on the little pond outside my front door. So this is my tiny little front garden with its little water dish down there for the local wildlife and things. And in here, a little tiny barrel pond. What's that kind of half barrel thing? Up in the corner somewhere, maybe around here, you can have a look at me building this or setting this up together. It's been in here best part of a year, or maybe is it 2 years? I can't remember. But yeah, it's starting to fill out the garden a little bit. But the pond here, it's been empty because I've not put any livestock in it since the last fish that was in there last year. So over winter, it's not really big enough to make it through winter, so I took the fish in for the winter and I've not put anything back out yet. But we'll probably do that today, and there's been a few other changes that we can talk about. But yeah, just have a look at how it's going in general. This is as much for me so as I can keep track of what's going on in the garden and the growth. That's a little cat shelter in there. My cat likes to live in there, which is fine by me and doesn't have to be in the house. But yeah, that's it. Just a tiny little front yard, little place to sit, and a little pond. Planting wise, there's really just these horsetails here, and there's a lily here which survived the winter pretty well, and some nice healthy looking leaves on it. I have just given it a bit of a clean through. It's not really, I struggled with algae a little bit, but this bush or twisted willow behind it blocks it from a lot of the light, so it's not been too bad. It hasn't taken too much effort to clean it up. And the pond itself is this little pot here, just to give the fish somewhere to hide if the local cats do come a-calling. But the last video on this you'll have seen, I was talking about it being a solar powered pond, and that's this air pump here. So this is just an under gravel filter fed by an air line, and I've tried positioning solar panels all different places, and throughout the time that I've had this pond, I've slowly either killed them or dismissed them because they were doing my head in. They were really noisy, some of them, and some of them plain just didn't work very well. I tried a solar battery bank and tried one of those USB air pumps, which was fine, and that was the best solution for a while, but the rain got in and corroded it a little bit, so it wasn't a long-term solution. So now I'm just running an airline out of my fish room, which is actually behind these doors. So this is my garage, and I've got a line that comes out down here. It's that black line there. So if you ever wanted to know what kind of pressure the pump gives out, that's a 50 metre line, 50 metre air line, and it comes out there just fine. I can control that with a tap back in the fish room. Back in my fish room, well, let's have a quick look at, this is Penelope. She's probably going to be going out into that pond. The little goldfish my daughter picked up at Pets at Home because it was getting bullied and was in a bit of a sorry state, and she brought it home. I had to find a tank for it, so I've been in here over the winter, but I might put her out now, see how she likes it. But yes, this is, if I can get the light to focus, I've got these little valves here, which will distribute the air from my air pumps, and this particular one is connected to this big bundle because I haven't tidied it up yet, but that's got 50 metres of air line which is running up and over there, through there, which is the front door for the garage, and out into the pond. And I simply, if I want to shut it off, just move that down, move that up to turn it on full. Yeah, these things they're invaluable. I'll put a link in the description to these things. I run my entire fish room on these, so as you can see there's one there that's feeding this side and this bank of tanks. There's one here which is feeding all these tanks and these tanks, and I've got the same on the other side. But yes, let's get on with this. And of course, because I've decided to make a video outside, the heavens have just opened. But anyway, so one of the things I wanted to talk about is that obviously I'm talking about putting a goldfish in there. This is not a goldfish size pond. I can't remember how big it is. I think I measured 150 litres or something like that. The only reason I'm considering putting Penelope in there is purely because that's quite a small goldfish. It's considerably bigger than the tank that she's in at the moment. and she'll probably be fine because I can monitor this. If nothing else, I have a security camera which links to my desk, which can see this pond, so I get to see what's going on in it quite a lot. It's really for some nanofish that you want, some cold water nanofish in it. I've thought about putting my white clouds in here. That's probably a better fit for something this size. So just because you see me put a goldfish in here doesn't mean that I'm advocating goldfish going into small little half-barrel ponds like this. If you are going to use a goldfish, then maybe some of the fancier types are best. Certainly nothing like a comet or your standard general goldfish. They will get way too big for this. And again, because of the size of it, this is a temporary measure anyway. This isn't a pond you can leave your fish in out over winter, for instance. It's just not enough water volume. This isn't just about being a fish geek. I mean, this is just a nice place to be. It's about making a small space as natural as possible. These other houses here are close together. There's not a lot of space for gardens. There's loads of wildlife, whether it's bees or caterpillars or butterflies and dragonflies, all sorts. And just having this little, almost little oasis-like thing here, and just makes your day a bit brighter as you trudge off to work, or not, as the case may be. So even though I said it's not about being a compulsive fish geek, and you could just have this as a nice little nature pond, I am a compulsive fish geek, so I'm going to put fish in it. At the moment we have a bag of white cloud mountain minnows which are going to live in here. Again, I must stress this isn't a full-time solution. They will not survive the winter in here if we have a bad winter, so this is just like a version of summer tubbing, if you like. You see lots of people where they will have tubs out in the back garden for breeding guppies and things like that, so we're going to have a go with white cloud mountain minnows. Probably not going to get very far because these are quite small, as you can see, so I don't think they're mature yet. Well, maybe you can't see, but we'll leave them in there. There'll be plenty of bugs and things for them to eat in there. We can feed them up well, and then we might put Penelope in a few weeks. For now, we'll just see what it's like with the small fish. So I'm just going to empty them in there. I'm not going to bother about separating the dirty water that they've come with, because they're the only thing going in there. And we'll see how we get on. There, the sun's come out for me to finish the video on. That's just a little update for you. I hope that was of some use to people. I would definitely suggest this as kind of a nature pond rather than a fish pond, because it lifts the whole area quite a bit. But if you liked any of this or found it useful and you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. It'd be nice to see you again, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.